الأجانب في أيام بيروت للتحكيم، وتكريما لهم سأتكلم بالإنجليزية. Excellencies, new colleagues and old colleagues, and above all, friends, it's my pleasure to address you today at the inaugural edition of the Beirut Arbitration Days, hosted here at the Beirut Bar Association. This international conference stands yet as another testament to Beirut's revival and Lebanon's renewal as a dynamic center where diverse voices meet, ideas take shape, and opportunities are born. Established in 1919, 1 year before the proclamation of Greater Lebanon, the Beirut Bar Association was founded to organize the legal profession and uphold professional ethics in our nascent country. Over the past century, it has withstood war and political upheaval with unwavering commitment to democratic principles and the rule of law. I'm proud to say that it's here that my career began, now several decades ago. Today, I return to this legal community not to speak of the past, but to lay out a vision for the future, a blueprint to transform Beirut into a hub for international arbitration, the world's preeminent means for resolving cross-border commercial, investment, and business disputes. As you all know, arbitration serves as a cornerstone of international commerce and foreign investment, offering a neutral, efficient, and enforceable mechanism for resolving disputes arising from transnational business activities. Positioning Beirut as a reliable seat for arbitration would thus integrate Lebanon more deeply into the legal frameworks and dispute resolution networks that support the global economy. By transforming Beirut into an arbitration hub, we would also be stimulating Lebanon's own economy. After all, an international arbitration hub is not just a seat for pleadings and hearings, it's also a destination. It's where professionals travel, conferences are held, and incidentally, though not insignificantly, where new visitors discover the vibrant culture of Lebanon and its people. Indeed, this vision transcends economic development and prosperity. At its core, it's about redefining Lebanon's image and role, from a place where conflicts arise to one where they are peacefully resolved. During my tenure at the United Nations, I advocated for Lebanon's disassociation from inter-Arab conflict to preserve its security and stability. I believe we can now build on this foreign policy and aspire to more. We can strive to establish Lebanon as a country that also facilitates and enables conflict resolution, not only in commercial matters, but over time in the broader architecture of peace building, diplomacy, and the dialogue of cultures and peoples. Establishing Beirut as an arbitration hub would also reaffirm Beirut's enduring identity as a city of laws, a legacy dating back to Roman times. Lebanese jurists already lead in major arbitration centers around the world and actively contribute to the development of arbitral law and practice. To name just one example, the landmark Salini versus Morocco decision, which defined the very concept of investment in investor-state arbitration, bears the signature of a distinguished Lebanese legal scholar, the late Professor Ibrahim Fadlallah. We can now go further and envision Beirut itself as a laboratory of legal thought through arbitration, a place where the world's legal norms, doctrines, and standards are shaped, challenged, and renewed by tribunals seated in Beirut. Beirut is indeed uniquely positioned to serve as a hub for international arbitration. Most Lebanese lawyers are fluent in Arabic, French, and English, enabling us to handle arbitration cases in these three dominant legal languages. Many Lebanese legal professionals are trained globally bringing back a wealth of international expertise. Geographically, we are situated within a few hours' flight from the economic centers of Europe, the Gulf, and Africa. Culturally, our society has a legacy of negotiation, mediation, and dialogue. And crucially, Lebanon acceded to the New York Convention back in 1998, ensuring that parties can rely on the recognition and enforcement of Lebanese arbitrary awards in around 170 countries. These are all powerful advantages, but they must be backed by robust institutions and modern infrastructure to realize their full potential. In this regard, I'm proud to say that the government is moving swiftly to implement our vision for a new Lebanon, one where we revitalize our economy, restore trust between citizen and the state, enhance public services, and reinforce the rule of law. The foundational pillars we are putting in place to realize this vision are essential for Lebanon to emerge as an arbitration hub. These pillars include the following. 1, securing the independence of the judiciary. While arbitration is a private, party-led process, it can only be as strong as the legal system to which it is attached. In particular, the courts at the seat of arbitration retain a key supervisory role, especially in set-aside proceedings, but also in the context of interim measures or challenges to arbitrators. A key reason parties choose arbitration is the promise of a fair, neutral, and independent forum. That aspiration for fairness and neutrality extends also to the choice of an arbitral seat. That is why the Judicial Independence Draft Law, recently passed by the Council of Ministers and now before the Parliament, is so important. It's not only essential for safeguarding our rights and freedoms or for instilling confidence in investors, it also lays the foundation for Beirut to become a trusted and credible seat of arbitration. 2, modernizing governance through digital transformation. From e-signatures and e-payments to e-court platforms and the digitization of public records, our government is committed to making interactions with the state more efficient and transparent. This includes improving accessibility to laws and court judgments, which in turn provides transparency and clarity to parties considering Beirut at the seat of their arbitration. Parties seeking post-award remedies before Lebanese courts would also benefit from increasing access to the courts and visibility on pending proceedings. 3, re-establishing trust and integrity in the banking and financial system, whether through enacting the landmark bank secrecy reform law, passing the bank resolution draft law in the Council of Ministers, or now working towards an equitable law to address the distribution of financial losses, the so-called gap law, we are making real progress in resolving the banking crisis, achieving justice for depositors, and furthering Lebanon's integration into the global financial system. A secure and reliable banking system is essential for any arbitration hub. Without it, parties will lack confidence in the ability of arbitral institutions to carry out necessary financial tasks like collecting arbitration fees, dispersing payments to service providers, and managing escrow accounts. 4, revitalizing key sectors of our economy and revamping public services. We have introduced transparent procedures and merit-based criteria for public appointments, along with establishing independent regulatory bodies to breathe new life into vital economic sectors, including the electricity and telecom sector. Reliable electricity and robust telecommunications infrastructure are indispensable for the smooth conduct of arbitrations, particularly in a digital age where virtual hearings have become part of the norm. 5, upgrading Beirut's international airport and Airport Road, in addition to launching a second international airport in liac within a year. Improving ease of access and entry to Lebanon is essential for business travelers to flock to Lebanon, and arbitration practitioners are no exception, of course. 6, last but certainly not least, restoring Lebanon's sovereignty and ensuring security and stability across its territory. The government ministerial statement makes it unequivocally clear: the states must hold the exclusive monopoly over all arms in Lebanon. We have taken and continue to take concrete steps to ensure that only the state possesses and controls weapons within our territory. At the same time, we remain steadfast in our efforts to end Israel's occupation and continued aggressions against Lebanon in violation of international law. A stable, secure, and sovereign Lebanon gives parties the confidence to arbitrate and do business here. And let me be clear, we are determined to implement additional structural reforms to revive the economy and restore faith in the state. Alongside these broader efforts, targeted initiatives and reforms specific to the field of international arbitration are key to establishing Beirut as the premier arbitration destination. These include updating our arbitration-related legislation to further align with international best practices, including the UNCITRAL model law, enhancing party autonomy while limiting unnecessary court interference, strengthening our arbitration centers, or even working toward the opening of a PCA regional office in Beirut, and providing specialized training to our judiciary on the principles of international dispute resolution. My government welcomes your insights and contributions, both at this conference and beyond, as we work together to shape a unified national strategy for advancing international arbitration in Lebanon. Finally, I invite you to join us not only in developing arbitration in Lebanon, but in participating in the broader renewal of Beirut and our country. Together, we can build a future anchored in justice, partnership, and opportunity. Thank you. وعاشت بيروت أماً للشرائع. Thank you.